Hey, sports fans. Saturday, the 30th of May. Fucking hot in El Paso, man. It's about 94, I think. Went out this morning. I'm kind of tired from stress and did a little bit of work, physical work and arthritis and all that shit. I feel good and all that and trying to learn how to be retired without killing myself. So I got started a little bit late, around 9:30, and shit didn't go quite right. I finished up with the back fence. It's a big rock I needed to toss over to the pile over here and check everything. Trying to keep the cats out. Put the screen on the wrought iron to 4 foot high to keep the cat. They come in there was two or three of them. One got hit by a car, and is coming here shit all over the backyard, the front yard, the side. Fucking, you know. It's not the end of the world, but it's just annoying. I don't like that shit. I like dogs, but I don't have it. I'm up to here with I got to do this, that, and the other. My dad's will. Don't ever let your dad give you an inheritance through a will. I guess it's a trust or something. And 20 years dealing with my family, the control freaks, and it's a little bit of money, and they are just psycho over it. That's like my dad too. I lived in L.A. and New York, and man, ain't nothing but money. I mean, you're talking fucking money, man. But I came back to El Paso with my disabled son, and my mom asked, uh, needed help. She was like 90, 94, 95. My dad was 100 already. And I said, well, they helped me out with my disabled kid for, what, 10, 12 years already. And I said, let me man up. And single dad, she took off the drug addict mom. And I come back. My dad said, what did you come back for? I said, I figured, well, mom asked, she's sitting right there. And she asked when mama calls. I was doing all right outside Harrington, Kansas, outside uh, Kansas City there. Had a car hauler. I got two old Mack trucks, whatnot. And this kid he was like 10. So came back to El Paso and put him in school, all that. And my dad had his house and 7 rentals, and everything had gone to shit, basically. It was a lady that took over an apartment and been there 2 years selling crack and shit. You got to get a hold of. I don't know how to do all this shit, so I had to learn. County. What do you call them? Shit, I forget the name of the constable. So a family member has to show up, and they serve her with an eviction, basically. Give her 2 months to get her shit together. 2 months. She rented a box truck. I guess she found a place to go or something. Like that ain't like when I left in '67. Go out to California, man. There wasn't nothing like that shit. I just found something yesterday that it says 1965. Uh, I don't know, if it was California or United States, passed probably around 2 in the morning when nobody's around. Immigration Act. I think that's when Mexico moved over to the Southwest, and I was looking. They say that the Somalians are pirates and whatnot, and money grabbers, greed. I'm thinking of Mexicans are the same thing. With the sunglasses, the tinted windows, they don't want you to see nothing. They're dry. In a way, I understand it where they grab money here and there, food stamps, and got the wife and 7 cousins and all. They get a house. They all started businesses. I left in '67 on the main drag, Montana. I come back where we used to live at, and El Paso looked like a little third world country, little every little house, and these are cheap houses. It's not a country club, and they all turn them into business, which is not a bad idea. But when I say business in American culture, it was like Kmart, shopping malls, and over here it was just individual, mops and brooms, uh, maybe a market, Mexican food market or some shit, all kinds of shit. But it used to be a residential neighborhood when I grew up. So, like they say too, that the cartel, I guess, copied the mob or something. The Angels and the biker clubs all started, worldwide like corporate network, the underworld. So then you got the elites. I had seen one program where the elites had they buy a property or a building, 3 or 4, 5 stories. They got money or something. Somebody got some money somewhere. You're talking 1 million or so, and lawyers that started getting big in '75, and the drugs started getting the wholesale. Hey, over here in El Paso, if you want to, we used to drive over, get over there in 5 minutes, and they just wave you through when you're driving into Mexico. They just wave you through. They don't check you nothing. And then when you're coming back, it used to cost like 2 or 3 cents to get back to the United States. And now it's like it was, I think, $1.75 about 10 years ago. Yeah. Anyhow, uh, so they come over, come over to work or whatever, got the green card or whatever. They learn how to work the system. I went over there a couple of times 20 years ago. I can't remember what I was doing. Where I walked back across, they'd gone to the dentist over there, something, but they give you a ride home, whatever. So I can't remember. Oh, no, I was in my car, and it was like a 2 hour to get over the bridge coming back, and it never used to be nothing. And then now there's one, two, three, I think 4 border crossings. But the one downtown is packed, So anyhow, they 'cause I know when I was selling used cars, the Mexicans would come over looking for a Porsche, so they're cheap as fuck. Just survival and everything else, and I guess they're penny pinchers like my dad. They drink their beer, I guess tequila, and maybe a little uh, pot or drugs or something. I don't know. But well, that's what I was saying. When we used to go to Juarez back in '60s, I didn't do it, but there was I had a couple of buddies that got busted. They come back, they go to Juarez, get a kilo of good pot. I can't remember seed samia without seeds, whatever, and a kilo, 2.2 pounds, and they'd try to fly back to L.A. And a couple of them got busted. They got like 5 years back then. Uh, Anyhow, the shit was over there, and then the California weed used to be 4 fingers in a baggie. It's about 4 inches, in a plastic baggie. That was $10. What I used to do is sit there and bullshit with the guy, and I ain't got no fucking money. Try to get it for $7. I say, hey, I ain't got good shit, but yeah, the guy, whatever. But so I had gotten busted and just finished, I think, my second year of junior college. I took off. They wanted me to turn in a dealer. So I told my buddies, all of a sudden, everybody quit talking to me in a heartbeat. I said, oh shit, man. I said, well, fuck it. I wanted to go to New York and Europe, so I head out and started hitchhiking across country. That's what alcoholism and drug abuse is not all bad. You get some good life experience for what it's worth. And I just put on YouTube. There's a couple of news channels. Motherfuckers talking so fucking fast. I said, you see me, I got to blow my nose and smoke a cigarette. Take it easy, man. I'm 70. I'm not on the clock. Anybody can. His grandpa is kicking out some shit. Like an AA meeting. If you can use something that I said would help you, good. That's what it's all about. If not, ignore it. Keep scrolling. Go on with it. So that's all. I mean, the newscasts, the journalists, whatever you want to call them, I guess they got a script or something in front of them, or today's news. It's like Fox News. They put in their 2 cents. Of course, you look it up, you Google it, and at least $1 million a year. I guess they get there like Fox at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, get ready, and like a 1 hour, 2 hour Fox and Friends. I think it's like 2, 3 hours. Start about 6. It used to be 6 in the morning, 7, 8. By 9 they're finished. So say 4 hours, maybe an hour to get back and forth from the house, whatever. So 4 or 5 hours. Part-time job. You're making $1 million to $9 million. Rachel Maddow, I guess she's getting $9 million or $16 million and one day a week and whatever. But this thing with the immigration, where it, because I was thinking, like, at work, my lady friend just started working, and she's figures out how much she's going to make, and then what they're going to take out tax, like everybody. And I thought, yeah, well, they took out tax for uh, basically started working on the books at 14, like 60 something years. So now I'm getting, I guess, at an inflated value, I'm getting my money back at $12.50 a month, which is that's $40 a day. I mean, I ain't gonna go. You got to figure out what to still budget your money. I bought some beets the other day to help my immune system. They went with the heat. The difference between 86 and 92, 94. The bee. I put them. I had them out on the stove. I think 2 or 3 days, and the little the stalk and the leaves started to wilt. So I cut it off, threw that out, and I put the bulbs or whatever, the beet, the body, put it in the fridge, and I used to work produce, so I feel it's starting to get a little soft. Had a couple of bananas, I ate those right quick. I get busy, and then I'm not. Yeah, I forget. I forget to eat or something sometimes, but I try to cut down. I bought three bananas. They give me the little ones. Yeah, that's good. I put them in some cereal, whatever. But they start turning. Also about 3 or 4 days in the heat. Put them in the fridge, and still start turning. After 4 or 5 days, that's you got to figure. And then it's like that. I got for the spaghetti. I got that tomato sauce at Prego, and you got to watch it. I use it about 4 or 5 times, and then that last little bit, same way with the milk. That last little bit, it's been 5, 6 days, 7 days. It starts to turn. I open a jar of tomato sauce. It's getting all moldy and shit, and toss that motherfucker. They got refrigerators, small ones for 150 over here in El Paso, plus delivery, probably 25, $30. But my nephew says, like my daddy, that's why people, I didn't understand why, and my mother hated it, that people buy freezers to keep if you can get a sale or they're having a sale on the meat or vegetables or whatever, you put it in the freezer and it'll last you for a while. Like I got a little steak in there that I put in the freezer for later. I didn't want it right then. So I don't know. These new fucking refrigerators at Home Depot, like 2,500 to $4,000. Big deluxe. My sister says, "Why don't you get one of those little dormitory style, tiny little, like what you'd use in a truck? Those were 10 years ago, I think 400 and up, and you can't hardly put jack shit in it. Yeah, that 50s General Motors refrigerator my dad had was actually kind of small. So you got to create your own little system as to, like I said, probably sound like I'm crazy to these youngsters or something, but just go like I'm talking to my friend from Ohio. They buy her chicken fingers or something every day, a state program rehab or something, and I got some Chinese food or eating out of it. So why don't you cook for yourself, man? You got a little bit of money. She's always running out. Save your money a little bit, and then buy a stock, like something like I get the spaghetti for $1. I got, I think I had three. I got two little boxes left, but I hit that about 3 or 4 times. So I got a week or two supply, like for emergencies. Somebody accidentally, I guess, give me 2 loaves of bread, that cheap white bread, but that comes in handy. I'll make a sandwiches. Sometimes I just grab salami or cheese by itself, and so I make a sandwich. Put some mayo on it with survival. So I don't know. I guess they got a 60-day peace treaty with Iran. Uh, I don't know. It's like a chess game, like they say. They calculate their moves. They're going to sit there for a while and figure out, if I do this, what might happen, this or that. So if I move over there, I want to make sure it's like a fight. You don't know. So, but you're ready. The guy throws a jab or something. You're ready to block or move out the way a little bit, and you're still watching. If he leaves himself open, you come in with your shit. A simplified example, but you got. I've been looking at it for a while. You got China and Russia. 5 or 6, 7 years ago, they were smiling, doing that press conference thing, and the one from North Korea, that guy's a weird motherfucker, and his dad was. Uh, they started with the nuclear missiles, one after the other. I mean, that's been going on for about 10 years. And he became having a summit meeting or something. The three of them, Russia, China, and this says China. I don't know if it's true or not. China's helping Iran sneak the oil through the Strait of Hormuz. I thought we had a blockade, so fucking, like I say, it's a rabbit hole and a half most of the time. And I was thinking today with Trump, you'd have to show me where he's actually having sex with a minor or Prince Andrew, but then you'd be in possession of child porn. Yeah, I says they got this system figured out. I see these lawyers, con artists, and everything else. So you don't know. Uh, like I said, I lived in a village, and people like in the '70s, like Trump or Epstein with a suit. I mean, motherfuckers would come down there from every angle, and you start bullshitting with some of them, or you're drinking a little, bullshit. Sometimes, NYU to Washington Square Park. I worked down Wall Street. I had my buddies I hung with, but I went into a suit bar, what they call it, after at night over there on Wall Street. So I don't know. They're playing a rock and roll. I mean, they fill the jukebox with dollar bills. You get like what six or 12 plays for $1. It was back to back. Everybody's talking. I'm kind of listening, but I really don't care. But I'm just trying to see what's up. So, looking at the girls, whatnot, and they're on a different level. That's all the homeboys from Brooklyn, and half of Brooklyn comes to Wall Street every day. Good people, but it's just I'm single. I'm from Texas and California. I was a transplant. Lucky I didn't get killed over there. Just trying to fit in. I made more money than I ever did, but they says the high school kids in the New York Times. So high school kids make $200 an hour before 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if it was the Bronx or whatever. So they sell pot or drugs before school starts. To the high school kids. $200, like I said, over here where I'm coming from, you get four finger pot, is $7 to $10. And I was doing barbiturates. They were a quarter a piece for a pill. And I'm talking to this guy Roger. He's over there at Trinity Church in the graveyard section, talking to I think two other guys. They're over there on a headstone or something. I said, "Hey Roger, what's up, man?" So I come over there just to have that curl up muscle, whatever. Uh, and this other guy, like an Italian guy with a little leather jacket. Yeah, we're 20, 21 years old. There. Says he's talking, and he starts talking about barbiturates or yellow jackets or some shit. Barbiturates, the red devils or whatever the fuck he called it. And I didn't really know these guys, but I butted in. I says, "Hey, excuse me, are you talking about those barbiturates? The $6 a pop." So they were trying to figure out how much it costs to buy and sell, whatever. And he says, "Yeah." I says, "Man, I just came from L.A." I says, "They were a quarter a piece over there." That's the difference between out west and it's the X factor. Oh Lord, yeah, I got a little tired this morning. Well, I took a nap. Said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna work tomorrow a couple hours." I got my wood from the truck floor, the 1 inch, inch and a quarter oak, about 3.5, 4 foot. I got two of them. I dropped them off from the truck. And what I'm going to do is that wrought iron, that 1 inch, I'm going to do, I got a little wood workhorse that was with the property when I moved over here, and make a little, like, they call it a workhorse, I think. And then make another one. I'm gonna make a little table out of those. Put like a gap in the middle, and then these are a foot long. So put one a gap, and then the other one. Make a little table, so I can work on, or need to set something down. I'm going to cut. You know, set the wrought iron on the table, or whatever. I got to work bench in the garage, but it's the guy dropped down from the roof and right in the middle and broke it. And that's a whole fucking. It's not that bad. It's just that these fucking crooks or whatever you want to call them, pieces of shit over here. They got to throw everything on the fucking floor. Yeah, New York. My buddy started. We was getting high. He started. I think it was a Puerto Rican guy. So he says, "Hey, I was talking to this guy. He says we're going to go to Jersey in the daytime when the people ain't home. They got money. Break in a house, steal a stereo or a TV or something like that. Snatch and grab. Get in, get the shit, take the shit to your vehicle, take off and sell it. 20, $25, something like that, whatever you can get." These motherfuckers here, they broke in 7 times, and I think there was one guy reading a book on the other side. I don't know, he'd been here a month or something. I was out 2 or 3 months. And the water's off, so they can't use the facilities, ain't nobody cooking. They're high. But he started tore the door off the hinge, put a fucking hole in the door, hit the wall over here in a couple of spots, and then write some dumb shit and throw all in my business. I got all my paperwork, dump everything, manila envelopes, dump everything out. Like, what the fuck? So if the state ever wants to audit me, I'm just going to take a picture of the house. I'm leaving everything here. Just need to take a picture and clean everything up, I guess. You fucking tell me how much I owe you, fucking shit. And the cops over here, I was talking yesterday about point of view. I feel, now that I'm back for a year and a half, that I'm on a main drag on Montana at 5 Points, that it just feels safer now. And I put the gate up. They were coming up about 6 weeks ago. I see footprints coming up to the gate. Come at night. Well, everything's basically, you jump the fence. It's 5 foot, the rock wall. And put the gate up. It's secure enough where you can't come in. I'm not finished with it. There's a couple more pieces, but you can't get in. And then I'm here. Hey, chicken shit motherfuckers. But I seen a girl next door. I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Says, "Hey, they broke into your house and got a video from her security cam, like 2 in the morning. Here comes 4 guys in hoodies crossing the street." I said, "These motherfuckers, you don't know if they got a knife or gun or whatever." There's 4 of them. The cops come in here and dusted for fingerprints, 1 or 2 items. They takes the cops in El Paso a couple hours to get over here, make an appointment, Well, they're gone, fucking. They caught 2 guys. The first 2 guys, I guess I don't know if they thought the house was abandoned or whatever. What are you going to do? Pick up, start all over again. So what it was, my sister had said, well, See, my dad made the fucking will out with the rest of the family. Didn't say a word to me. My mother sent me legal documents from that were drawn up. I'm in New York, and so they had a family meeting to discuss what to do on Dad's will. And I said, I wasn't invited. No, she says, but I'm sending you number one, man, you know. So I get back because mom asked me, so I come back. I need to get one of Dad's rentals. And he wasn't taking care of that shit no more. He was 100. So he says, well, go look at that one apartment on Montana. So I come over here. Ain't nothing in here. It's got about 3 outlets on a duplex, or 4 outlets or something. Now, what the fuck? No hot water tank, no nothing. Like my son, he got to be in school like in 2 or 3 days, and Children's Protective looking at me through a magnifying glass. So I went back and he says, well, let's get one. Let's get a hot water tank, a refrigerator, the one I got here. So we did that. And I mean, he got money, a Rolodex, know everybody in town and all that. That's why this guy makes a comment when I said, I feel safer already. He said, no, not really. Like a guy with a Spanish name, Alexandria Cortez, Medina's, Martinez, what the fuck. This fucking cholo motherfucker here. Pendejo. If you live, no face on the profile. It's just like I say something and you want to. We had a saying in AA that don't walk on my clean mind with your dirty feet. I said something, and some of these youngsters once in a while, they'll just come out with a stupid. This really, they just want to shut you down with 2 words or 3 words or something. Oh, not really. I was talking yesterday about having an intelligent conversation. These guys are not the ones, believe me. And I used to go to the Petro in El Paso, and like the white boys with the low boys and the nice Peterbilt trucks and all that. They're having their own private conversation. They're all clean as a whistle, and you know, they don't want to talk. They'll just look at you like, "Nah, you ain't one of us." It's fine. Fucking Mexican after Mexican, everybody stops there. They're coming from California, going to Florida or something. Talk to these guys in a hurry. How you doing? They don't even want to bother. So I end up talking to this guy who's done, I think, 13, 14 years in prison. Some shit. I guess it's like a privilege or grateful to have somebody to talk to or something. But so I'm just trying to get my health back. Like I said, I got a bathroom right here and $18 a shower at the truck stop. I'm getting $200 a month more. I went to get my food stamps and Medicaid, and them motherfuckers want, are you an owner of the house? Well, I'm a part owner. They put everybody's name as owner for the inheritance of this house. So you got like 10 people. Do you own and I asked my nephew, I said, I don't want to lie. I said, how should I answer? Just say you're a resident. Then they want to know how much is the house worth, how much money you got in the bank. So I got my inheritance. It's like when I had my disabled son, that you can't have over $2,000 resources, a car, except the house. So, I mean, it's tight. It's tight. So, what I've been doing is trying to budget myself. I get order from Walmart. I try to get like around $50, $60 of food a week. I asked my girlfriend in Ohio; she gets, I think, $256 a month for food stamps, and then so right around there, between 200 and 300. And then I spend a little bit to get like right now. I'm going to need to get more flux, core flux for the MIG welder. I had that on, it's $22. You know, it's 80, $100 if you get a couple of tools and shit. So I said, well, let me do that just little by little, like once a month, like Wednesday, I'm getting my money. So, like right now, it's the end of the month. It's like, I don't spend nothing, just down to my last couple of cigarettes and a cup of coffee. Got a little food left. I'm going to order maybe for the night or tomorrow. And then first of the month, fuck it. Get what you need. You got that little extra. I want to wait till I get my money first. So anyhow, so this fucking heat does a number on me, man. So I'm sitting here with the air conditioner on. It's not too bad. You try to make the best of it. You gotta. Uh, I might go out for another hour. Once about 7:30 when the sun starts going down. The side of the house is a little breeze. Ain't nothing right now. You start moving around, you get kind of. Uh, I'm old. And it's like Phoenix. It's probably 100 degrees already, and there are people out there in an air conditioned car, but there are people outside working, doing shit. I guess they get used to it. I'm telling myself, hey, what the fuck? You grew up in El Paso. The heat shouldn't bother you, but it does. My son would go into his 17 years. He go into seizures at 80 degrees. So I had to start learning air conditioning and very conscious of the temperature. Okay, so like I'm looking at these, what do you call it? The data centers. Says they got a 300 in Texas already. Expecting another 100. Now, this video I seen yesterday's clip was it says that they fill up the water to cool the engines, the motors or whatever, were sealed, so you don't have to refill the water. Because I was hearing 50 million gallons a day. There again, that journalism is you don't know what to believe. Uh, they could do that or some kind of antifreeze because we have the science and technology and the availability to access scientists from around the world. That's business. That's the real deal. So these, I think, they're billions of dollars. And what like 1,000 acres or like little cities. It's the biggest Central Park. Maybe a couple of miles, 3 miles by a mile or two, something like that. But they got up here in Abilene. They got one. This lady was a veteran, and her and her husband they bought a little kind of ranch style house over there, and they made a data center right in about 2 blocks over, something like it, 2 or 3 blocks over. Now the motors and the fans, 24/7. I was That's fucked up. I noticed that when I bought that land in Pecos at night, I'd sleep over there once in a while. The I used to hear that they're burning some, they got one of them oil wells where they're burning the methane. And you can see that, but there's also you could hear a pin drop out there, but you hear bang. It's like get used to a little bit. Driving a truck, motherfucker pulls up with a reefer unit. 15, 16, 17 years ago, I mean, fucking blow you out of the box. Now they come out with a whisper, not too bad. You get used to it. I asked one guy, how do you fucking sleep with that shit? That was loud, like 15 years ago, fucking loud. He said, I get used to it. He's so fucking tired, he passed out. Well, it's all that shit. Let people know what these guys go through. I mean, it's a fucking rat race. It ain't no, oh, you're a truck driver or something. Nah, or you're a truck driver. Well, got to deal with shit in life, to make a certain amount of money and whatnot. So Uh, Anyhow, this guy come out with this partner of his, an associate. He's got a nice drone with a camera in front of it, and it's got a like an infrared lens or whatever. He's saying you're looking over there at the data center. They got about 10 smoke, big like smokestacks. I don't know what you call them. He said they're going to order another 50 for this one place in Abilene. Uh, Got a permit in Texas that's the equivalent if you're going to open up an auto repair shop, minimum probably 50, $60 or something. So they're cheating already. And somebody got paid off to look the other way. It says all of a sudden, all these data centers, nobody knows jack shit about what's going on. It's supposed to present this to the citizens, to the public, to the city, the county councils. It's open to the public. They're supposed to put a notification in the paper or Facebook or whatever and says the public is welcome to attend. And they're going to go over a meeting Tuesday night or something for an hour and say we want to have so and so company wants to put a data center over here at this location. And they go on and on for about half an hour and we'll take any questions. Well, is this what's the purpose of it? What's it going to do? What's the goals? And you said how much water use? Isn't there another way to put antifreeze in the system where the water is precious? It's like my solution is I looked up in Texas, El Paso area, in Pecos, outside of Pecos City, it's 14 feet in your backyard. You can get water to water the yard. No, I don't ever have to. Well, I used to got to filter it a little bit and all that. But I was looking where the gas and oil, Texas, they go 3,000 to 5,000 feet down. 5,000 feet a mile. But I mean, you're talking money and time and work, machinery, all that shit. But I'm thinking too. See, they want to make here in El Paso downtown, over the Interstate 10 downtown. They're going to block off the traffic's going to be fucked up for the next 3 or 4 years. Where they want to park in a shopping mall and fuck all that. The traffic's going to be. I don't drive. I have Walmart to deliver my shit. I'm waiting to fix my Cadillac and all this and that. I got enough to get a little car, but I'm fucking prices. These foreigners, they're like the Somali pirates. They come over with a gold cap tooth. The Mexicans got the silver cap tooth and a knife or a sword, and they're coming over to plunder. I read the Bible every day. It's the same kind of scenario, really. It's fucking weird, man. And up here trying to fuck people, fuck the country, fuck the system out of money. You see the Somalis in Michigan, they keep, every time you hear it, there's something more. Well, they figured out, say, these pirates and these ancient civilizations have been around for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000. The pyramids, it's all in that area. So they talk a lot of hide behind religion, but they're a bunch of crooks, like Trump is telling you straight out, man. They're fucking despicable people. They're evil, and they've extended their capacity where they're overtaking Europe and they're already got a foothold over here. Death to America. Allah, man, fuck you, man. get on your knees at the truck stop. I want to kick them right in the fucking ass. I mean, you really. I'd rather one of these motherfuckers spit on me than insult my intelligence. What they say, the dumbing down of America, and they got this since '75 with the lawyers. Like I said, I used to fight like I think 70 to 75 on the streets in the village and the cab and all that. Used to fight 2 or 3 times a week, man. Just a little throw exchange punches or whatever. Boxing's an old sport. I'm lucky I didn't get killed, but around '77, the lawyers have been taken over, and you got what's a cop started about ready to hit this fucking guy. There's a squad car, slow roll in New York, where they had the cops on the beat. But my timing was different, or their timing was different, or something. But now I'm drunk and disorderly. I'd be getting locked up and shit. And it used to be the Wild Wild West. When I first came to New York, stayed about a month or so. I'm going to hitchhike back out of there, walk down to the Bowery. I'd never been on there. It's a white ass sidewalks, on both sides, and there's men and a few women, scrubby, filthy, just passed out on the sidewalk. It was like 7 in the morning. It was nice and cool, but I'm like, what the? I never seen nothing like that. So that's the way it was back then, And it's all now. It's all the Kennedys, the DuPonts are living in Tribeca, we're in a loft, and all this kind of. Hey, we used to go down. Me and Omar used to. He took me down there to Soho, right across Houston Street, because like the Washington Square was kind of crowded. He was like a loner, like me, kind of. He said, "Look, you got a quart of wine or something." He said, "Let's go over a couple blocks over by the warehouse. They're all empty, abandoned. Uh, went over there. Fucking ain't nobody there." Little Italy was right there. I can't remember. I think we only went like by Broadway or maybe Lafayette. I think we went over there, and there was a couple of warehouses empty. You look down a block or two, and you don't see nobody coming and whatnot. So uh, sit there, drink a wine, and talk, and we can hear ourselves talk, and there's nobody walking past. It was fucking nice, beautiful actually. I used to want a loft down there, and there used to be 4,000 for with fixture rentals or some shit, whatever. You got a girlfriend, you want to try to, you know, hang on. Yeah. All right, I'm back. My friend calling me. Fuck. They like my nails and oh shit. Thought you were at work. So I go back to California in 80, 81, 82 somewhere. I go back to LA, Long Beach, Costa Mesa. Fucking prices tripled, Like, what the fuck? Not the hippie days no more. Everybody, the yuppies, they call 'em. I see what they got now. They show a picture this morning on Instagram of Long Beach, all the highlights. I started a comment. Yeah, put the prices of apartments and Bloods and Crips, gunshots 24 hours a day. I'm telling the truth. Ain't nothing but, they say with the internet, bunch of fucking lies, man. Or you're just showing, you know, if you've been with a woman, you had a kid, the whole thing changes. You seeing a girl taking a shit and getting sick or going to the doctor and the medications and all the nighttime routine with when you first, see a girl who's got the lipstick on, looks all perfect and shit. And they're over there having a fart contest. All that appearance shit goes out the window. I'm just telling the young guys, they know about it. A lot of them grew up with sisters and brothers and all that. It's real life. But that's human nature, I guess, because that's just the way you go anywhere else and they same old shit. I was saying too with the women all over the world where they sex is the ultimate power, I guess, that a woman spy can seduce. James Bond used to have that. The women just knock that gorgeous and seduce. Wanted some information on a government plan or something, and they go to bed with the guy. The guy takes her out to dinner, not suspecting nothing, and they they get you to talk and trusting them or something, and that's why I see all this shit, and I try to not stress over it. God knows what's coming. They've been talking about World War III or nuclear war since the 50s. So uh, it's got to go on with your life, I guess. I don't know. I'm almost glad I'm at the end there. Try to see if I can get up to heaven and see my son again or my parents. What? What are you gonna do? I just put this on. I can bounce my own thoughts and hear myself. Try to be positive. It says that if you're negative, that it's virtually killing yourself. I'm optimistic, but I'm also realistic. This is my opinion from my life experiences. So I see stuff that the celebs, we used to talk about that 60s, 70s, the celebs and the rock stars, the movie stars, the rich people, that some of them end up, like Natalie Wood. She don't like water. She's scared of the ocean or whatever. But Robert Wagner takes him and Christopher Walken and the skipper on a boat. They're all drinking. Next thing I think Robert Wagner, they were having an argument. I think he pushed her over the side. But, L.A. District attorney, there's not enough evidence, motherfucker. And then finally, the Christopher Walken ain't said one fucking word. And the guy, that was back in the 70s or something. That kind of shit. So, what is the? I saw one movie, I think from the 50s or something. They were in Europe. It was Michael Caine, a young Michael Caine that they're on a sports car. He's like a government, like a CIA dude or something. And they got the sports cars and the Alpine roads. It's very exciting, fast cars. Here comes a babe. That's like, oh fuck, that pup boom boom. She's out driving them all. They go to dinner and the music and the fancy hotels and the next thing, she's working for another government or something, some shit, So next thing somebody gets killed, there's a couple of guys following them and start shooting and all that. Adventurous, as it goes. But here comes the helicopter and the police and money, big fucking money. What's new? So that's all. Yeah, I just try to, like my dad when he retired, he was just taking it easy because he used to be 4 o'clock in the morning, come home at 5:30 at night. And it's like a little Hitler. But when he died, I went down in the basement. He's got a desk, and I opened the bottom drawer. He's got all the mortgages from the 7 rentals, and it was very organized. It was all in neatly filed. I says, "Oh, look at that shit." I'm a fucking mess here. But I allow myself not to be perfect, quite far from it. So do the best I can with what I got. That's the AA shit. And then, like right now, I went to get some refill my sugar. I got a little plastic container and it's almost empty. I got about a spoonful of sugar. I got a 5 pound bag of sugar on top of the fridge, and I'm gonna a little bit left. I got to order some more. I pour it in there, and I see the little brown shits, the leftover of a cockroach that was in there. I said, "I fucking throw this shit out, man." That's the least of my worries. They raised the taxes. It was 1,000 a year. Now it's 2,500, 2,300, something like that. My nephew paid the last one, and he's telling me there ain't no more money after this. So you got it's a big responsibility to own a home or whatever. I still haven't gotten the deed. I don't know if he just filed it at the county. The lady across the street says, "Yeah, just go down to the county and they should give you a deed to the house, whatever." I don't know. My nephew don't want to answer the fucking phone. What a cocksucker lawyer for 60 years want to act like. I said something, running my mouth, and if you know me, that's who I am. You don't expect Cinderella here. And he says, "Oh, you insulted my family." I'm like, "What?" I said, "What? I don't remember what I said." So I texted him. I says, "Hey, I apologize for anything you might have misunderstood. What BS? That's with a family dysfunction, and that's part of why I used to drink. Fuck it, you know. Fuck you. It's sad. It's not. It's not. Peel the layers of the onion to get down to the ugly, nasty. Like the garlic started with the heat. Started going bad. It changed color. I had a couple of cloves here. I'll order some more. It's cheap, and I like my garlic. So, but that's life. That's real life. So you got to deal with it. And I think God gave me enough. And then we got tools to work with. So like this is one of the newfound tools that let me get on there just to bullshit or whatever and kill some time. If I could help anybody, that's good. I was looking at it yesterday, and this is how to make money on YouTube and get sponsors. And not now, man. My head's like, I don't feel like doing anything right now. But I says, you look at it later. I want it easy now. I'm not going to get sit here. I was up to 3 in the morning. I don't know how much they're paying. I had looked before about a year ago, like Sammy the Bull. I don't know. Got 500,000 followers, 1 million followers, or something, and they get. It says you get a 0.001 cent per viewer or subscriber, or some shit like that. So I'm good at math, but I think I took my calculator out, or just roughly figure it out in my head. Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot. I mean, you're looking. He's on a like he was doing a podcast once in a while. Like 2 or 3 a month, something like that. And then I think now he's on Instagram like every day with just a little clip. But the podcast, anyhow, it says you make some money, and then I guess if you say, well, this show's being sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts or something. Hey, I bought a battery. We've got a 10% discount right now, and 950 starting cranking amps, and you know, O'Reilly's. That's the place to. So I do that like 2 or 3 minutes or something, and then if you tell them Vic sent you, I don't know what I get, $1, $2, something like that. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Television, movie stars, and all that. So I'll look at it later. Sometimes it's not. I was playing the stock market since Christmas, and I'm just probably overboard on it. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting sick of this shit. Just writing shit down and not really making no money. But no, it's setting a record. Last week was setting records through the roof, and I look at SPY or S&P 500. We're at I caught it around 15 minutes after it started, and it was like at 7:49, and the asking price was $184. It's just going up, I think, from 150. So in 15 minutes, I'm thinking it just started where it started and just went straight up. I'm thinking it started at maybe 100, 125, something like that, somewhere around there. And then I goes 180 and wrote it down. And by the time it finished, I think it was about an hour and a half later. There was you could have made $185. And I said, okay, I know what a ceiling is. You're not going to make 400. I was looking at JB Hunt, but they've been jumping up $5 every fucking day last week. You make $400. You got to put in like $1,500, $2,000, and then you make 400. Like that. But Nvidia, man, that motherfucker's whoo, like a rocket ship up and then boom, straight down. You don't have a chance to, so I should just look at it a little more until you're familiar with it a little bit. Like the SPY, like 2 months ago, I started. It's like, man, this thing moving quick. But then you kind of tune in to get it under control. Don't get excited. So I'm trying to stay cool, calm, and collected. Because anyhow, everybody have a nice weekend. I'm going to shove off here. So God bless. Give me a view or a comment or something. Everybody be good.